This is TechCrunch. Amazon made same-day delivery the benchmark here on Earth. Impulse Space is pitching a similar concept for satellites bound for geostationary orbit about 22,000 miles above Earth, compressing what is typically a months-long transit into a matter of hours. In the span of a week, the in-space propulsion startup announced a trio of deals aiming to unlock geostationary orbit for commercial and defense users. That includes a demonstration mission with defense contractor Anduril planned for next year, a transportation deal with geo-communications startup Astronis in 2027, and a multi-launch agreement to carry Infinite Orbit's servicing satellites to GEO starting the same year. Tom Mueller founded Impulse in 2021 after nearly 2 decades leading propulsion at SpaceX, where he led development of the Merlin and Raptor engines. He left SpaceX in 2020 and started Impulse to build out in-space transport services focused on last-mile delivery in low Earth orbit, which is typically 100 to 1,200 miles above Earth, and ultra-fast satellite transport to GEO. The common denominator across these missions is Helios, Impulse's methane oxygen kickstage. A kickstage is essentially a small rocket engine system that rides on a larger rocket and then fires its own engine, in this case a powerful engine called Deneb, to propel spacecraft to their final destination. Well, Helios is meant to be the quote-unquote same-day courier from low Earth orbit to higher altitude orbits. If it performs as advertised, commercial operators could reach higher orbits much faster, and the Department of Defense could maneuver more quickly in an increasingly contested region of space. GEO isn't just far away. Getting there and operating satellites from there presents special challenges. Spacecraft must transit the high-radiation Van Allen belts, zones of charged particles trapped by Earth's magnetic field, deal with latency in long-distance communication, and maintain their precise position. The partnership between Anduril and Impulse could prove especially lucrative. The pair will jointly build a demo satellite for rendezvous and proximity operations, a capability that allows spacecraft to approach and inspect other objects in orbit, which the Space Force has identified as critical for space domain awareness and deterrence. Impulse is supplying the spacecraft called Mira, which flew for the first time last year, while Anduril will provide a mission data processor, long-wave infrared imager, and other software-defined payloads aimed at tracking and high-precision navigation. As part of the demo, Helios will ferry the spacecraft to GEO in under a day, after which the mission aims to capture images of other resident space objects, analyze them, and autonomously execute precise maneuvers to observe the objects. U.S. officials often describe the goal as maneuvering without regret, or the ability to reposition satellites on orbit without jeopardizing the mission or wasting costly fuel. On the commercial side, Astronis signed on for a 2027 mission that would see its micro-GEO satellites launched to low Earth orbit on a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket and then delivered to geostationary orbit in less than 24 hours by Helios. That mission profile is super valuable to Astronis, as it will allow the company to dramatically accelerate satellite activation dates for customers waiting for their satellite broadband services here on Earth. Finally, Impulse signed a multi-launch agreement with France's Infinite Orbits to carry several satellite servicing spacecraft to GEO via a rideshare program called Caravan. Impulse says the Caravan offering will deliver multiple small satellites at the same time, much as SpaceX's rideshare program lets companies split the cost of a launch. The first Caravan mission is fully booked for next year. In recent years, the space industry's explosive growth has mostly focused on low Earth orbit, as operators shifted to smaller, less expensive satellites for applications in communications and remote sensing. But if Impulse has its way, the next phase of growth will be in geo. Harjit Gill was running Flux Ninja, an observability startup he co-founded several years after selling his first startup, Netzel, in 2018, when he noticed a curious trend. He said, "We had a team of remote engineers who were starting to adopt AI code generation on GitHub Copilot. We saw that adoption happen, and it was very clear that as a second-order effect, it's going to cause bottlenecks in the code review." In early 2023, Gill started CodeRabbit, an AI-powered code review platform, and it acquired Flex Ninja. Gill's prediction has come true. Developers are now regularly using AI coding assistants to generate code, but the output is often buggy, forcing engineers to spend a lot of time on corrections. According to Gill, CodeRabbit can help catch some of the errors. The business has been growing 20% a month and is now making more than $15 million in annual recurring revenue. Investors find the startup's growth exciting. On Tuesday, CodeRabbit announced that it raised a $60 million Series B, valuing the company at $550 million. The round, which brought the startup's total funding to $88 million, was led by Scale Venture Partners with participation of InVentures, NVIDIA's venture capital arm, and returning investors, including CRV. CodeRabbit is helping companies like Chegg, Groupon, and Mercury, along with over 8,000 other businesses, save time on the famously frustrating task of code review, which has become even more time-consuming with the rise of AI-generated code. Since CodeRabbit understands a company's code base, it can identify bugs and provide feedback, acting like a coworker. Gill added that companies using CodeRabbit can cut the number of humans working on code review by half. As with most areas of AI, CodeRabbit has competition. Startup rivals include Graphite, which secured a $52 million Series B led by Excel earlier this year, and Greptile, which we reported is in talks for a $30 million Series A round with Benchmark. While leading AI coding assistants like Anthropic's Claude Code and Cursor also offer AI-powered code review capabilities, Gill is betting that customers will prefer a standalone offering in the long term. He said, CodeRabbit is a lot more comprehensive in terms of depth and technical breadth than bundled solutions. Now, whether his prediction will turn out to be correct remains to be seen, but for now, thousands of developers are clearly happy to pay CodeRabbit $30 a month. Even with the growing popularity of AI code review tools like CodeRabbit, AI solutions still cannot yet be fully trusted to fix the bugs and unusable code written by AI. The unreliability of AI-generated code has given rise to a new corporate role, the Vibe Code Cleanup Specialist. That's it from TechCrunch. For more stories like these, go to TechCrunch.com.